Hey guys, it's Lego with Lego Vids again. I'm going to be making a playthrough video for a witch doctor, and so this is going to be a playthrough from level 1 all the way up to killing the skeleton king, similar to the monk video that I posted earlier, and so I hope you enjoy. Same as before, you'll be seeing this just as I play through this. I haven't looked over all the changes and things that have happened, and so um, you're just going to see this as I see it and see my reactions as we get there. So let's begin. As you can see, we have these load tips now. That's new to patch 13.
The air is heavy with death. The fallen star is near.
So this first ability I'm using just is Poison Dart. It's just the ability that the Witch Doctor starts with. 100% weapon damage instantly and then 80% over 2 seconds. So it tends to be pretty good, at least for this beginning spell. It's kind of slow now because I have a really slow weapon, but later on I'll get something faster.
It fell on the old cathedral. There was only one survivor, Leah. You should speak with her.
Captain Rumford, more dead are coming.
We can't open the gates until we drive them back.
They keep coming.
I'm kind of excited to see what some of these rune abilities do for the Witch Doctor. I haven't really looked into them, and I'm not sure what's going to be available in beta. As I've played through on other classes, I noticed that the skills that you get as you level up are actually different than what they have been in the beta. And so I'm excited to see how they change. Maybe there's a different skill that I'll get leveling up that I didn't have access to before. I know that happened when I was playing through on my wizard, and so it'll be interesting to see if there's some new skills that I have access to that I didn't before.
You are Leah. The captain says you survived the fallen star.
I did, but it blasted my uncle Deckard Cain into the depths of the old cathedral. I tried to search for him, but the dead were already rising. I came back here to rally the militia, but... Watch out! The wounded are turning!
I overflow with blessings.
See what we get. Grasp of the Dead, fantastic. They actually buffed this a little bit, so the slow is 60% now. It used to only be 50%, so good ability. Happy to have that one. It's great for AoE for the Witch Doctor.
Will overwhelm us all unless something is done.
It may not seem like much because it's only 40%, but it's 40% weapon damage a second for 8 seconds, so it tends to do pretty well.
He can tell you what to do.
Actually, I think there's a book down here. I didn't go down here in my previous video. There we go.
We've been under
Experience.
siege for 6 days now. Uncle Deckard is still missing. Captain Rumford and the others are losing hope. I tell them not to lose faith, but if help doesn't arrive soon...
16 militiamen went out.
I have some money from playing on my other characters. I wonder if this guy has any weapons upgrades for me.
For you this fine day.
Sure, I'll take a sword. That'll help my damage a little bit. It's one nice thing in Diablo 3 is your gold is actually shared among all of your characters, and so it's automatically linked. You don't have to try and pass gold between them or anything like that. So it's kind of a neat way to be able to help your characters out. The same is true of your stash in Diablo 3. The stash where you put your items, all your characters use the same stash. They don't have their own, it's automatically shared.
I will honor it.
Well, I have seen you fight. Strike at the wretched mothers and their queen. They're the ones vomiting out these horrors.
They're attacking the barricades.
As you can see,
That's one of the wretched mothers.
Grasp of the
There are
Dead,
more
that
in the ruins
AoE
down the
ability,
road.
made quick work of that little group, so that's cool. I'm glad to have that.
Deckard Cain have spent many years traveling and writing about the strange creatures in our world, but the sight of the wretched mothers still haunts me. They are the remnants of Queen Asilla's slaughtered handmaidens who were twisted by foul magic. Now they feast upon cadavers and regurgitate them as newly formed, risen dead. I I will never forget the first time I saw these horrors shambling out of the misty woods. Our loved ones, buried long ago, rose from their graves and began to attack the living. However, the risen dead were only the beginning.
The mist is cleared.
Dear reader,
These little
I
lore
am
buttons
Altan
show up
Hazir,
every time I kill a monster
adventurer,
that I've never killed
scholar,
before in
and
this character.
researcher.
So
I
that's why you
share
keep
my
seeing
knowledge
those
of this
buttons
incredible
pop up
world and
there.
its creatures
They give you a
through my
little description of
insightful
them. It's kind of
missiles,
cool.
often
Adds a neat
at great
feel to
risk
the game. I
myself.
like it.
Why, I was recently in Honduras, where my tents were ransacked by vicious quill fiends. I was able to beat them off with a shoe, but a less bold man would have fared far worse.
In the patch 13, they mentioned adding runes to abilities, and so every class should be able to get their very first rune to one of their abilities at level 6. So every class is the same. They get to have runes, and so that's kind of cool. This new ability, Corpse Spiders, I'll show you what it is. I'm not going to use it right now, but I will show it to you. It actually takes a jar and throws it at the enemy, kind of lobs it, and then all these little spiders break out and they'll attack the enemies. So it's kind of a neat ability. It does pretty good damage, actually. I'm not going to use it right now, though, because it's really mana intensive, and this little poison dart's going to do me better, and I want the AoE of the Grasping Dead, so...
Old Tristram needs more time. Diablo's evil lingers everywhere here.
Check this little weapon rack. Every now and then it'll have a good weapon to equip, especially like if it's your first playthrough. You can drop a pretty good weapon to help out your damage. In case you don't know, in Diablo 3, even a caster's damage from like their spells and things like Grasping Dead, everybody's DPS is based on the DPS of their weapon. And so that's why I'll run around with a sword, even though you wouldn't typically think of that as like a caster weapon. But in this case, it is based on the DPS of the weapon that they hold, and so it can be to your advantage to just carry whatever weapon is good DPS. In addition to just the weapon that you hold on to, your DPS is based on another thing too, and it would be whatever your main attribute stat is. So like if you're barbarian, it would be strength. For a demon hunter or a monk, it is dexterity. For a witch doctor or wizard, it's intelligence, and then vitality is just for life. So I'm also looking for things that have intelligence on them. Oh wow, he actually changed his inventory. It used to never change. Don't care for these items though. And I'm going the wrong way. Supposed to be going to a portal.
I promised Marco I'd protect him.
In the game, you'll always see this little goblet next to whatever waypoint is closest to your quest objective, so it kind of helps you keep track, not get lost.
Here, let me open the gate. Adria was my mother, but I don't know much about her. She died when I was very young. I was raised by Uncle Deckard.
Did you know your father?
I'm told he was a great warrior who was lost when Tristram fell to the demons. Look, a hidden cellar. Follow me.
Excellent.
This is a place
That
of
probably
power.
actually ups my damage
Your
quite a
mother
bit.
hid her
You can see my
secrets here.
DPS here from
People said she was a witch.
8.32 to 11.65, so that's pretty good. It's got plus damage on it, so that's actually a pretty strong stat, at least early in the game. I'm not sure what it'll be like later on, but early on it ends up being a really strong stat to have. You see, just Grasp of the Dead just like melts those guys. I love that. I love that, like, even though it says like damage per second or like damage over seconds or whatever, it feels like it does damage like every 0.1 second, so it just like melts their health bar. I really like that, instead of like a ticking action, kind of like similar to WoW, where you would kind of see the health bar tick down. I do like it where it just kind of like just melts
Stay
away.
here and study your mother's secrets. We may have need of them.
Thank you.
Aiden came to me last night. I
You know,
suspected
it
what
never
was
makes me feel like
lurking
I'm
within
waiting
his
for the
troubled
tick
heart.
of the
I consoled
damage to
him as
happen. You
best
know,
I
it just always
could.
happens,
Regardless,
and so
wherever
it's
he's
cool
headed,
to just watch
hell
it.
will surely follow in his wake. The shadows close in on Tristram once again, but like Aiden, I'll be gone before they fall.
One thing I'm not really sure how I feel about is, if you notice, I can see the enemy health bars, but I can only see them if I've actually done some sort of damage to them. If I haven't damaged them yet, I don't see the health bar. I'm not sure how I completely feel about that. I mean, part of it I understand because it helps
Another lost.
keep the game immersive, because the health bar is not really like, I mean, it reminds you that you're playing a game. And so, and of course you can just turn the health bar off too, like you don't have to see the health bar, which is fine. I like to see it, but I do think it would be, I kind of wonder back and forth about would I want to be able to see the health bar even if I never damage the enemy.
TRISTRAM Cathedral. The fallen star lies within.
I wonder if Blizzard will ever make that an option. You know, not real high on the priority list by any means, but definitely something to consider.
Here is where the fire fell from the sky. Strange magic comes from below.
I like that increased slow. It actually makes them have to stay in the Grasp of the Dead even longer, so it ends up doing more damage because they can't get out of it. That's fast anyway. See, I got zombie dogs. This patch was kind of harsh on Witch Doctors. I'm
The
not sure
grotesques may
like how
seem
much of an
slow
effect
and
it's gonna
senseless,
have
but they
when you take
hide
into
many
account other
dangers
things,
within their
but they
hideously
kind of
malformed
took back
bodies.
the damage on a
set
lot of their
spikes
abilities.
lurks
So,
beneath the monster's flesh,
zombie dogs
and
being one of
foul
them. I mean, see, it only
parasites
says
nest within
9%
them.
of my weapon
It is
damage,
said that these
and I just,
horrors themselves
I mean, that
are
just seems so
constructed by a
small. I just
greater
kind of wonder,
evil,
like,
a
what the purpose is
darkness that
there, and
I
maybe later
cannot
on, like a
even
rune or
fathom.
something will help beef that up so it's a little bit stronger. 9 just doesn't seem that strong. I'm gonna go with him for now, but you know, I am kind of hesitant. I'm like 9% really, so we'll see. We'll use them. I do like having summons. I just wish they were a little bit stronger. You know, I like the idea of like a necromancer from Diablo 2 where you just have like this huge summon army. I do like that concept, and I feel like the zombie dogs wouldn't really ever be able to kill anything with any kind of speed on their own. And that may be something that Blizzard's trying to get away from, is not letting NPCs really do the work for you, or you can just wander around. So, I mean, maybe that's what they're going for.
Perfect strike. Needs more time.
If nothing else, zombie dogs do good as being like a meat shield for me. It gives the enemy something else to chase after, so I can just kind of stand and shoot.
Need more time.
Man, I wish the cooldown on Grasp of the Dead was shorter. It's not even that long to begin with. It's only 8 seconds. I do like the ability though. Hey, maybe I'll get a rune to lower the cooldown, right? Doesn't look like I have to be in any kind of line of sight to progress with dead down either. I can just drop it down there on the stairs, even though I'm still up here. So that's kind of cool. You know, it's like, as far as I can tell, like it doesn't have any kind of line of sight or anything. I could be here and probably still put it wherever I want. Yeah, that's kind of neat. Being able to attack enemies when they can't even reach you yet. I wonder if the NPCs ever get smart. I wonder if they'll actually like go around grasping the dead if it's already on the ground, like in harder difficulties, instead of just trying to run through it to get to me as far as like shortest path to target. That would definitely be interesting if they got smart enough to go around. That'd be kind of a cool AI feature, especially for like Inferno. It would ramp up the difficulty, I would think. One armor. It's a little bit better.
Oh, minions, stay back! Back! May this wedge hold. The Skeleton King?
The power of the fallen star awakened me, and soon all will suffer as I have suffered. Gods, bring me his bones!
I wonder if I can get him all the way up here. Oh, might have a range.
Needs more time.
I wonder if I can only like put it out so far. Stand back here, see if I can put it out there. No, there's definitely a range. It can only be launched out so far.
I will aid you.
Stay back!
I guess if nothing else, the zombie dogs are really fast. So, that's kind of good, I guess.
Need more time.
They're not keeping his attention too well, though. Let's see, what did I get? Plague of Toads. I'll show you that ability too. Again, I'm not going to use it right now because I like the abilities I'm using right now. But I'll show you under here. Plague of Toads. Releases a handful of toads that deal 130% weapon damage as poison to enemies they come in contact with. And I may show you these different abilities that I'm not going to use later on. The reason I'm not going to use this is because these toads just kind of bounce around at random and they don't really go where you click, and so that's frustrating, and so that's why I'm choosing not to use it right now.
Oh, thank you. But why did you risk yourself for me?
Because you needed my help. Come, I must return you to
Those
the
toads can be okay for AoE,
Wonderful to hear
because they
that we
do
are
a splash, they do
well.
explode and do
fear
a
the
splash, and
worst.
I think 3 come
I
out at a
learned
time.
of this
And their
secret
damage is
passage
not
through
bad,
old
130%. It's pretty respectable.
We must
It's just
discuss
the
fallen star.
randomness of the way that they jump around that I don't care for.
Uncle, you're alive!
Thanks to you.
I'll go ahead and
your
change out
friend here.
I
this
seek
skill
your
here so
wisdom.
you can get an
Tell
idea
me
when
of
it
the fallen
cooldown is
star.
off. I'll use it, show
The
you what it looks
prophecy
like.
of the end
Just in
days
case you're not
surely
familiar.
points to it as a sign that the end has begun.
Please, Uncle, not more of your stories. All that matters now
I'll
is
go
that
without
we're
Grasp
back.
of the Dead for now. I'll actually show you what this skill looks like.
The Skeleton King was
It can be my
once our
AoE for now.
beloved Lord Leoric. He was driven mad by Diablo's evil. He lost both of his sons and his very soul before he was finally defeated. Now it seems he's risen to plague this land once again.
Leoric should be in the unformed land, yet he stands between me and the fallen star.
The key to defeating him lies in his old crown. Seek out our blacksmith, Hadrig. He knows of its whereabouts.
I'm gonna hit the vendor again, drop some of these white items. They don't sell for much, but it's better than nothing. He's got weapons again. That dagger's not bad. Not too concerned with armor, but I will go ahead and grab this dagger. I want to keep this blue sword. Because I've played through the game before, I still have access to the blacksmith. He's not standing here right now because that's actually the next quest I have to go do. But since I've already played through on a different character, I always have access to the blacksmith. It's shared between all of your characters. The blacksmith actually lets you craft gear and that sort of thing. And in addition to being able to craft, you craft using materials that you've broken down, and so you can use this salvage button and you can break down anything that's a blue quality or better that you don't really need, and it'll turn it into actual crafting materials. And so this little subtle essence is just the most basic of crafting materials. There's some other ones out there too, and there's different materials for each difficulty level, but that's kind of how that works.
Yes, you've got to promise me you'll take good care of what.
He actually has a witch doctor weapon. A shame it's not better than what I'm using now.
Leader spent all night alongside the blacksmith's wife, tending the wound.
Did you hear? Old Rumford has us down to holes.
Blacksmith, Deckard Cain said you could help me find the crown of Leoric.
Not now. It's my wife. She's locked in the cellar like all those who've been bitten. I'm to put them all down. But how can I kill my own wife?
It must be done, blacksmith.
So awful.
I will help.
I hope you kill your wife. No problem. I got this.
Follow me. Sure, I may do business with some unsavory tie.
So just keep in mind, Grasp of the Dead, I'm not going to have it here. This is actually a really good place to have it, but I'm going to use toads instead, so you'll get to see how toads work. See how they just kind of bounce around at random even though I'm clicking here? That's the part that's so frustrating for me. I feel like I can't aim them. You know, they just bounce, and when they find something they blow up. And they only go out probably like 10 yards before they just blow up on their own anyway. This guy made it kind of far, but they're just frustrating to use. I guess in this little tiny space where they have nowhere to go, it works. So there you go. You run into little tiny spaces. Toads work.
Hadrig, help me!
I'll try to kill her with toads. Get an idea of how frustrating it is to try to kill one mob, because they just bounce everywhere. That's why I don't use them.
I couldn't have done this without you. I'm in your debt.
Alright, that's enough toads. I'll swap to corpse spiders for now, and be able to show you that ability. Once we're done there, I'll swap back to Grasp of the Dead, because it's probably one of my favorite abilities of the Witch Doctor, if not my favorite.
And if you see my fool apprentice out there, tell him to get back to town.
So I'll show you what it looks like without any mobs around. You just chuck a jar and these spiders come out. There's 4 of them. Kind of creepy looking. They don't live for very long, but they attack pretty fast, and each one of the spiders does 25% weapon damage per attack. And so with all 4, you know, it counts as 100% weapon damage. So it can be pretty good, but it does tend to eat mana pretty hard. See here. So they've tweaked the way that Witch Doctor mana works, and I think they just said that they did a pass in the patch notes, and so I'm not sure like how much that's going to affect the way that these spiders are. The spiders are really expensive in the previous patch, so maybe it's not so bad now, but we'll run around with them for a little bit so you get an idea.
I did once meet a raggedy fellow who claimed that he had trained one of the beasts to bring him large rats to eat. But I'm sure the story is utterly...
Yeah, they're not all that great for AoE. They're really a lot better for single target. See, again, I'm still struggling with mana. I can't even throw them as much as I want them. It's a frustrating thing with the spiders. I'm gonna spawn back out. We might be able to use them once we get like another skill slot, depending on what our other skills are available.
Need more time.
I don't know if it's just me, maybe I didn't pay attention in the previous patch, but I feel like I run into rare mobs a lot more often now than I did in the prior patch. I'm not complaining. I mean, it's great to run into those. It's exciting because, you know, you're pretty much always going to find a piece of gear, but yeah, it's just interesting. Aha, level 6. I should get a room here too, called Splinters, and apparently it works for my dart ability. Let's see what it is. Shoots 3 darts at once that deals 70%. Huh. Let's give it a shot. Let's see what it looks like. Have to wait for the cooldown to finish before I can actually use it.
Needs more time.
Otherwise, I'm just gonna melee with my dagger here. There we go. Oh, so it's 3 in a row. It's kind of neat, I guess. See? Wonder how effective this is. Not bad. So what are we looking at? 70% per. And so looking at like 2100 damage, or 210% rather, weapon damage. That's not bad, like if all 3 darts hit. And relatively quick, I guess. I wonder if it's slower. Do you think the animation makes it slower than the actual other dart? Because there's that delay. We have to shoot all 3. Kind of wonder if that slows things down. I guess one benefit is if 70% is enough to actually kill something, you know, the next 2 darts keep on going to hit something else. Oh, check this out.
Need more time. I strike at your heart.
One neat thing is these health globes, when you run over them, they heal everybody in your party, and that includes your pets and stuff. See how my zombie dogs are hurt a little bit? If I pick this health globe up, you can see they get healed from it. So, I mean, even if you don't necessarily need the health, it's good to go ahead and make sure you're watching your summons health and stuff like that. Heal them up if you need to. Shrine. I don't really need armor, but sure.
Needs more time.
Yeah, these little Wanga dolls. These are Witch Doctor only items. It doesn't have more damage than the one I'm using now, so I'll just keep the one I got on.
Needs more time. Not ready yet.
Oh, take them off. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm running into another rare already. I just feel like I run into a lot of them now. I guess I'll go ahead and check this tomb over here. Oh, wrong way. I like how much control this Grass to the Dead gives, you know, all those mobs, they normally run around like crazy, but they can't because of Grass to the Dead,
Demons
so
have been known to devour their own young.
Seriously,
when
the
no
ability's
other
gotta be my
nourishment is
favorite for the
available.
monk.
Their offspring, the imps, sometimes manage to flee and band together with other demon spawn. They rove in vicious packs, ready to descend upon the unwary traveler and rip his body to shreds with their tiny needle-sharp teeth.
The truth burns. Need more time.
Nope, not this tomb.
The crown will not be found in this crypt, I think.
I like these stones, they kind of speed up the process. If you're in the wrong tomb, those stones kind of help you get out back to the beginning so you can keep on moving. Cuts down on the travel time of just doing nothing but running. So I like that idea by Blizzard. It's not fun just to run. Having to backtrack through an entire dungeon we've already cleared out just because it's not there. You know, so kind of a neat way to get around it. Oh, I couldn't drop it down there? Have to try this again. I tried to drop my Grass for the Dead down there and it did nothing. I put it up here. Try again. There we go. Maybe I just clicked wrong. Really cheap way to kill mobs. You might be doing that in Inferno when you're scared of them. see. What skill do I get this time? It's not set here. Do I get another rune? Groping eels. I think that's for Grass for the Dead. What to do? Increases damage done to 78% weapon perk. Oh, nice. So my favorite ability from 40% up to 78%. Amazing. It's gonna be ridiculous. Time cooldown. Yeah, the runes usually, almost always actually change the graphic effect of the item too, so, or of the ability.
Grave robbers have defiled my tomb. Now my husband writhes in torment because I do not rest at his side. Return my bones so that we may rest in peace.
I think I like the graphic of Grasping Dead a little bit better. I like those zombie arms that they just flail. But hey, can't complain about more damage. And they call it eels, but it kind of looks more like maggots to me. I mean, what do you guys think? There's just so many of them. They call it groping eels? Yeah. You call it like maggot decay or something, I don't know. So much damage. Yeah, 78% a second's pretty ridiculous.
I do not have enough mana.
Don't want to port out of here yet because I'm doing like a side quest. I think I have to go over here. Yep.
They have gone
There we go.
together.
Want that bonus experience. Oh, there's items that drop from here too. There we go. Another Witch Doctor only weapon, but again the DPS is too low to actually use it. Oh no, frame rate's slowing down. What's happening? Hold on. Check something. Not sure what's happening with the frame rate here, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this quest in. It's gonna be real choppy, and then I'm gonna probably restart the game, see if that'll help the frame rate.
The crown is not here. I will seek it in another crypt.
Well, seems to be doing better now. So I'll go ahead and clear this last tomb real quick. I think it'll be alright. Let's actually give me the next checkpoint, and then if it spikes up again like that, then maybe I'll restart the game to see if that helps.
Need more time.
Huh. Try this again. I tried to put it over here and it didn't work.
Needs more time.
I put it here instead, so let me try this again. Sure enough. So it looks like some objects can actually block it. Wonder what the oh, this is like a giant pillar. I thought it was broken because I was next to it, but it's actually not broken. Wonder if that has to do with it. So I can probably like throw it over ledges and stuff, but I can't actually throw it like into a completely different place. Like if there was a room over here, I probably couldn't just like put my mouse on the other side of the wall. Unless there was like a gate, maybe. Sure, I'll take extra gold.
Not ready yet.
Guys, if you do like this video, if you had a chance to see my monk video as well, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know, and I mean, I may be able to get a gameplay video up for each one of the classes. It does take quite a bit of time to actually take the video, considering my monk one was like an hour and 15 minutes, and then to compile all of that and whatnot, it takes quite a bit. But if you guys want, I can make sure that I get a gameplay video up for each one of the classes for patch 13, show off the rune abilities that they have, and just let me know if there's a particular class that you want me to do next. Just leave a comment and request it, and I'll make sure that I do that. I think that this video might end up being a little bit shorter than the monk video. I have kind of kept a little bit quicker pace because of the fact that I know what the changes are that are in patch 13 now, and so I'm able to more easily explain those, and I've actually skipped some enemies, whereas before I didn't really skip anything. And so I think this will still end up being a good video. It'll just end up being a little bit quicker than the monk one.
The unburied are formed from human corpses that were flung into mass graves without a proper burial. This hideous
typically when I play,
amalgamation of bodies
I'm not just recording, but I'm just playing to play. Sometimes I'll just explore everything. Like I'll go to every nook and cranny in the dungeon. And that's one thing that Blizzard's really trying to actually push with Diablo 3 is by making the best loot come from rares and things like that that spawn instead of bosses. They want you to be an explorer and just wander around and find the rare mobs and things like that that aren't always there like a boss would be. You know, instead of doing like 400 Mephisto runs, you'll actually get out and see different environments and wander around and actually look for rares, and so it'll keep the game more engaging instead of just mindlessly doing as I said, like Mephisto runs or Bale runs or something like that. See, I got 2 new skills. We got Hex, and I actually got a rune for one of my abilities as well. So I'll go ahead and show you Hex. I don't like Hex at all. It summons this little shaman fetish, and then he will actually hex enemies around you and turn them into chickens. And at least on normal, maybe it'll be beneficial later on, but it's completely useless. I'll pull it out in a little bit and actually show you, but for now I have no desire to show you that. Let's see what our rune ability is. Leaping spiders. Summon jumping spiders that leap up to 25 yards to reach their target and attack for 30% weapon damage as physical. Sure, I'll replace it with summon dogs for now, and I don't really need those. And we'll see how this leaping spiders, leaping spiders looks. I wonder if they stay out longer than the corpse spiders. That would be a win. No, they don't stay any longer. They do look different though. Kind of cool looking, I guess. And zoom in here. Looks like spiders. Good and creepy.
Maybe we will find it together.
We'll see if they work out better than just normal corpse spiders though. One of the corpse spiders things is they don't live very long, and so if the enemy ends up being away from them at all, sometimes they just straight up die and never get to do anything. So maybe these leaping spiders will be a little bit more effective being able to actually jump to the enemy.
When you find the Skeleton King, place the crown atop his head and destroy him.
The Skeleton King's sickness infects this land. I will put an end to it and find the star.
Gonna drop off some of these white items I managed to pick up. And I'm gonna salvage these blues. Don't really need any of these. Here's another crafting material. You can actually craft rare items. See, like this dagger. There's some other ones too. And so there's rare items, and to craft those you actually need like these fallen teeth. And so here's a subtle essence too, which is that normal. So everything just takes this right now. There's actually another material as well that's used for crafting legendary items. But that'll be for later on in the game. I don't have access to even see any of the legendary items that can be crafted. I wonder if zombie dogs ever actually goes up in damage. Nah, it still says 9%. Let's see these leaping spiders in action. Guess it's not terrible. Let's actually get a better view so we can watch what's happening. Instead of throwing them downstairs where we can't see. See how they do on these rares over here. All these just sleeping spiders. Yeah, you see them jumping around. That's cool, I like seeing them jump. I don't think it's as effective as just using Minecraft for Dead, but it's still kind of cool, I guess. Alright, no more leaving spiders. I'll show you these heads now. Trade this out. I'm dying.
Death returns to me.
Have to find an enemy so I can show you Hex now. Show you how it works. Here we go. Perfect. So it summons this little fetish, and you turn the enemy into a chicken. That's what it does. That's it. So, hexed enemies are unable to perform offensive actions and take 12% additional damage. So, I mean, not that I need it, because I can one-shot them right now, so, yeah, I don't know. Maybe later difficulties, maybe some rune makes it better. I mean, first, like, I can't even choose what enemy gets hexed, so if there's like a whole group of enemies, like, I can't hex one that I want to deal with, like, after the rest or anything like that. Like, it's the shaman that just randomly picks one that gets hexed, and so, and it only hexes one, and it's just, I don't know. I just don't see it being that useful even later on. Maybe a rune will make it better. We'll see. Well, maybe we won't. Not in this video. Once the game releases, we might. Maybe in PvP it could work out. I suppose if we continue to interrupt somebody's actions at least, I suppose that could be a little bit annoying.
Undoes you.
Hey, our favorite. If nothing else, these zombie guys do a good job chasing this guy down. Jeez. Where'd he go? There we go.
Some devious little goblins have been robbing our merchants. When pursued, they simply open portals and disappear with the most aggravating chuckle. The peasantry seem to believe that the goblins serve a great demon lord known as Greed. And furthermore, that their portals lead to Greed's domain. A ludicrous notion, truly.
And I'm cursed. Once the captain of King Leoric's army, I left only to honor my land and my king. No man has a greater love for his king than I had for mine, even as I drove my blade through his dark and corrupted heart.
Well, looking at the time, what is it, like 52 minutes in on this video? Might not be that much shorter than the monk video after all. We'll see. I don't have too much more to go. Probably be pretty close to the same actually. And the only way I'd really be able to speed it up is if I just rush straight to the boss. But I suppose you guys actually want to see the gameplay and not just rushing. So.
And whispered dark and evil magics into it, instilling the notion of an imminent attack by Westmarch. Afraid to speak against the Archbishop. The councillors nodded.
Maintain your incantations. You will soon.
I am free. Now, back to my mission.
Who are you?
You will know soon enough. Help me find my gear. I will reward you well. Tell me, what brought you to this infernal place?
I go to face the Skeleton King.
As do I. The cultists dragged me past this glowing pit.
Needs more time.
What made it?
I wish to...
Down this way. There are my weapons. He's free! I am Cormac, warrior of the Templar Order. If it is the Skeleton King you seek, then you will have to fight your way past John Dar. There is no reason we should hunt alone.
No, there is not.
Magic bars our way, but the will of a Templar is stronger. You were a Templar, John Dar. How could you succumb to this coven?
The coven is my brotherhood now. The powers we serve will soon rule this world. Please forgive me. My vision was clouded.
There used to be a bug in the previous patch where you could actually kill this guy doing this animation before the Templar could, because he'll actually kill him. And if you killed him, then instead of the Templar, the gear would drop.
I will go with you on
I think that's fixed now, though. I haven't managed to kill him yet.
Condition. If we find the sacred tomes of my order, they are mine.
Agreed.
Then onwards we go to fight the Skeleton King.
Yes, I do want the Templar to join me.
Let us seek honor.
You can only have the Templar with you when you're playing solo, by the way. If you're playing with other players, then you don't get to have a follower. Oh yeah, and the Templar has a new skill. Oh yeah, these two skills. One is to teach the Templar how to heal, and the other one will teach him to taunt. So, I don't really need a taunt. I can kite around well enough, but we'll have him heal in case I ever need it, or he needs it. Sure, what the heck. Not that 12 man is that big of a deal. But, why not? Oh, it's 12, right? No, 16, sorry.
Your death comes.
When we returned from our horrific defeat in Westmarch, my beloved king lost
See, I don't get
all
that.
pretense of sanity.
See this right here?
He
I think
seethed
this
with
might be a
rage,
bug or
spitting
something.
curses
Like this
upon
is
us
actually
as
where
traitors.
the next point
Great sorrow.
that I need to go to
I
is.
ran him through.
But normally that doesn't show up on the map until you actually get really close to it. So it's just strange that it's showing up already. It used to not do that, and that's what this arrow here is pointing to. It's actually pointing me towards the next level that I need to go to.
The truth burns.
I wish I could just spam this Grasp of the Dead. Oh, I'll just kill everything with that.
I will forever live in anguish for my last attempt on
Need more time.
As we laid him to rest in his burial chamber, he manifested as a hideous skeletal demon. Gorash and my other knights were overcome at once, but I fought on. And now I wander, cursed by my once beloved king. Evil gnaws at my bones, and I cannot risk putting my beloved Tristram in danger should I fail to contain that which tears at me. I must venture down into the labyrinth to die alone.
I skipped this animation in my monk video, but I'll let it play this time.
This burden is mine to bear. May death bring peace from your madness, Leoric.
Traitors! Even in death, the armies of Condorus will still obey their king, even if you will not.
That's all it is.
We shall put you down, Hellspawn!
Need more time.
Level 9. I get Haunt, Horrify, huh? Let's see, Horrify. Dawn a spectral mass that horrifies all the enemies within 12 yards, causing them to run in fear for 4 seconds. 20-second cooldown. And Haunt. Haunt an enemy with a spirit dealing 350% weapon damage is arcane over 15 seconds. If the target dies, the spirit will automatically haunt another nearby. I'm going to go with this. I don't really need any more CC, so. Let's show you Haunt. Apparently I have an empty equipment slot. I have no idea what it's complaining about. There's been a bug with this for a while, so it's probably complaining about this two-hander.
You will never defeat me!
You were defeated the moment you surrendered to madness.
Yeah, these mobs are dying so fast, Haunt's not really all that effective because it's a dot and it just doesn't have time to tick, but maybe it'll work pretty well on the Lich King, or the Skeleton King rather. It's a 15-second dot. You know, I don't have to refresh it that often, so it could work out. It says 7. I wonder if that means he's level 7. I just figured my Templar was always my level. Apparently not. Haunt does about 2 a second, it looks like. This is better than nothing, pretty sure. Get stronger as you level. Get better gear and stuff. Kill my zombie dogs. To resummon them. There you go.
The Shakaroom high priests in Kurast proclaimed Leoric
Check out this
king
yellow
of
item I got.
Honduras many years ago. He ruled well until Diablo's influence drove him mad, and the loyal knight Lac Danan was forced to slay him. Afterward, Diablo himself raised Leoric from the dead as
4% magic
Skeleton
fun, can't
King,
complain, I guess.
until the
Still
monarch's
not
son,
that grave an
Cain,
item, but you know,
vanquished
whatever.
him.
And that's that, guys. Thanks for watching the video. Again, leave a comment, like the video if you liked it. Leave some feedback. You know, what class would you like to see next? Are you interested in any particular features in the beta that you haven't been able to find any kind of footage on? Just let me know, and I'll do my best to make a video. Until next time, guys.